Sully.
Kiss my ass.
I can't hear you.
I'll say it a little louder than get fucked.
Listen, loyalty is very touching, but it is not the most important thing in your life right now. But what is important is gravity. I have to remind you, Sully, this is my weak arm.
You can't kill me, Matrix. You need me to find your daughter.
Where is she?
I don't know. But cook those. I'll take you where I'm supposed to meet her.
But you won't.
Why not?
Because I already know. Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Matrix. You did.
I lied.
It's Two Dads, One Movie. It's the podcast where two middle-aged dads sit around and shoot the shit about the movies of the 80s and 90s. Here are your hosts, Steve Paulo and Nick Brianna. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Two Dads, One Movie. I'm Steve.
And I'm Nick.
And today we're talking about the movie Commando from 1985. We're wrapping up the month of JanuArnie with, I don't know, in some ways, maybe like the most quintessential Arnie action flick. Like, it just feels like such an Arnold action movie, right?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely would describe this as kind of the most condensed, like the purely distilled version of Arnie that you can find. This is black tar Arnie. You know, if you love what Arnie does, this has a lot for you. Yeah. So I can't wait to talk about this one, man.
We'll get into it in just a minute. Before we do, I want to say to the listener, hey, out there, go check out our website at twodads1movie.com. We've got all kinds of stuff going on there, including if you sign up for an account, you can see sneak previews of upcoming episodes. You can explore the connections between the films that we've covered, look at things like our stats, which is really interesting. It shows like how many times we've given fives to movies that are totally undeserving of it. And you can totally rag us for it. You can reach straight out and contact us from there. So check it out, twodads1movie.com, the number 2 and the number 1. Okay. This is Commando. This is JanuArnie. And Nick, this was your choice. So tell us a little bit about your history with Commando.
Yeah, I might have picked this one up on TV at some point in my teens, but definitely in college. This is where my love of Commando really accelerated. Mm-hmm. We had, very few DVDs to choose from. And if you were tired of somebody showing you The Matrix or the beginning of Saving Private Ryan over and over, you had to watch actual cinema sometimes.
True.
And that's where Commando stepped in. I just feel like this gives you such a great spectrum of Arnie's stuff, good and bad.
Right.
And this movie is just not very serious. And I told you this before, since we started the podcast, I appreciate a 90-minute movie so much now. Yes. Like, it gets an extra star for being 90 minutes generally,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was fun, and we would always watch it and we would like bust on it, like make jokes during it and stuff. So this was like really a part of my like early 20s, and I've loved it since then.
That's fantastic.
What about you, Steve?
The first time that I saw the movie Commando was 3 days ago.
Amazing.
Somehow this one missed me. I'm not even really sure how. Like I said, like we saw Predator a few weeks ago and talked about it. That's like one of my favorite movies of all time. I adore Predator. I love movies like, all the movies we've done for JanuArnie, True Lies and Total Recall, whatever. They're so good. Terminator and Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I grew up loving Arnold Schwarzenegger. Somehow, for some reason, I never watched Commando. I don't know why, but now I have.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that for now. Let's get into the episode. How about just the facts on Commando? Here we go. The movie Commando was released on October 3rd, 1985 with an R rating and a running time, Nick, as you said, of exactly 90 minutes. Bing. It is really it's a sweet spot, right? Directed by Mark L. Lester and written by Stephen E. D'Souza, who we've seen before. He, of course, the screenwriter for Die Hard. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ray Don Chong, and Dan Hedaya. Scores on Rotten Tomatoes, 68%. That's a respectable, fresh score. Not too bad. IMDb a 6.7. It's so funny. They sound so similar, right? 6.7 out of 10, 68 out of 100. But really a 6.7 on IMDb. Uh-oh. Oh, my kids aren't listening. Thank God. 6.7. That score on IMDb is actually kind of on the low side.
Right.
Compared to a 68 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a little better. We get a thumbs down from Gene Siskel and a thumbs up from Roger Ebert on Commando. Did not win any awards, at least nothing I could find worth mentioning. However, it was nominated for a 1986 Saturn Award. And if you listen to the show, you know the Saturn Awards are kind of sci-fi, fantasy, action, kind of sometimes horror, like focused award show.
We have a lot of Saturn Award nominees on our show.
It feels it's just like our milieu, maybe.
Exactly.
It was nominated for the 1986 Saturn Award for Best Special Effects. It did not win, but it was nominated. On a, frankly, incredibly modest budget, even in 85, of $10 million, it brought in $57.5 million at the box office, 5.75 times what it cost, which is definitely a blockbuster. No doubt about it, especially at rated R. You don't tend to see as many multi-hundred millions or whatever on a rated R film.
Absolutely.
A couple extra facts on this. I'm going to start throwing in a few of these here and there. Arnold himself reportedly was paid $2 million for this movie. So 20% of the film's budget went to paying its star.
Damn.
And then, of course, Jenny, Arnold's character, John Matrix, his daughter, is played by, at the time, 13-year-old Alyssa Milano, who we all know and love. But many other actresses, mostly in a similar age range at the time, were also auditioned for the role. Winona Ryder, who was 14 at the time. Shannon Doherty, also 14. Elizabeth Shue, who was 22 when she auditioned, and that would have been a different story, maybe.
Yeah, you would have had to shoehorn her into that role.
Hey-o. Similarly too old for this role, Patricia Arquette, who was 17, Drew Barrymore, who was 10, and Jennifer Connelly, who was 15. They all auditioned for the role of Jenny Matrix. And then last thing, 1985 in general, this was the year that started, I don't know, I know this was a thing when I was, growing up. I'm sure it was for you too, Nick. Stallone versus Schwarzenegger. We used to play in our friends' backyards. It was more like Rambo versus Schwarzenegger because Stallone's main kind of big super soldier role was John Rambo. But that started, 85 started that sort of paradigm because Rambo First Blood Part 2 also came out in 1985. Of course, it did like 300 million or something at the bottom. It was a massive hit compared to Commando, but it did kind of start off like, hey, look, there's these two muscle-bound idiots who play super soldiers. Let's continue to compare them for the rest of their careers.
Well, in Rambo 2, I mean, he definitely, that's where he became this kind of Superman soldier guy, just the way that John Matrix is in Commando.
Absolutely.
Who I don't think until the very end even gets a scratch on him, which is what I love. You're not gonna. I got a big ass grin on my face because I cannot wait to dive into this fucking movie. Are we ready to roll?
Kick it off, man.
All right.
Movie. Kick it off.
So cold open. We love cold open.
Absolutely.
A lot of fine cinema has it. And it really gets at a key part of the human condition as somebody who's in charge of the garbage for their household, which is waking up in the morning to the sound of a garbage truck down the street that you did not prepare for.
Right.
There's almost nothing worse than that. I'd say maybe like a really loud fire alarm, but even then, a lot of times you're like false alarm. You're rarely like false garbage truck. But so basically, garbage trucks coming down the street and you see this man kind of struggling to bring his garbage down.
Yeah.
And he's dragging his barrels down and he says to the garbage man, I was afraid you'd miss me. And then one of our favorites, Bill Duke, steps off the back of the truck, very calmly pulls like a machine gun out of the back of it, says, "Don't worry, we won't." Yeah. And then they just mow him down.
Yeah, a couple things. First of all, they're Uzis, which is just like I feel like it's the classic 80s action film overkill gun. And there is no point at which an Uzi is used. And yeah, that's definitely the appropriate tool for the job. Like you needed the Uzi. Right. It's always like, we're going to make a show of it, kind of thing. And yes, when he popped on screen, I literally wrote in my notebook, one of my first notes is that Bill Duke? Yay. I love Bill Duke. Yeah. For sure.
So then kind of continuing the cold open, basically what we find out later is these are like the former members of John Matrix's team that are all kind of getting killed in very funny ways by Bill Duke. The next thing he does is he's at a Cadillac dealership. So these are his lines to start the movie are, "Don't worry, we won't," and "I like Cadillacs." I mean, he is like putting a Shaquille O'Neal level Shakespearean acting display on here.
Hey Chuck, you know what I like best about the Cadillac, Chuck? I like the price.
The price. So he kills the car dealer guy, and then it shows this other guy getting on a fishing boat and drives away, and his boat blows up. So that's our cold open, and now we kind of start into the credits.
Yeah,
here.
we get 4 minutes into the movie. We've got 3 bodies. Yeah, and the body count in this is ludicrously high. I did not do the math. I don't know if you did it or not, or looked it up, but it is a lot of bodies. We start off fast.
We'll talk about the math a little later, but yeah.
So my note, what I noticed, right?
Yeah, what do you think here?
The cold open's great. I love all this stuff. It is a little, if you don't know, as I did not going in, kind of the storyline, it's a little confusing as what exactly is happening, but it gets cleared up fairly quick. And when we start into the kind of title sequence, credit sequence thing, it's just a lot of Arnold biceps carrying a log. I don't know. It's
a
a trunk.
telephone pole sized log.
It's a tree trunk, really, is what it is.
And I think this might answer our question from the Predator episode about his ability to hoist that other much smaller tree trunk up into the tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are John Matrix and Dutch the same guy? It's similar. They certainly are.
The showcase of Arnie, right? The total like bicep close-ups and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he sees a reflection in his axe, and it looks like, oh, he's going to have to turn around and plop it into somebody's forehead. But then it's just his beautiful daughter, and they're hugging. And then the music changes, and there's this like hilarious scene of like daddy-daughter tenderness, over the top cheesy, right?
It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger is suddenly playing Snow White. Like this, and Jenny is one of the dwarfs. Dude, these are all his woodland pals. Like
it is insane. And a couple things about this scene. All right, this was one that killed us back in the day. And the scene of them just like hand feeding the deer. So we would always say like, you know, oh, Arnie feeding the deer. That was a thing.
Yeah.
The first time I ever went to Vegas, we were at a blackjack table. One of our roommates from college, almost blackout drunk, and the dealer was named Arnie, and he kept saying, "Feed the deer, Arnie. Feed the deer. Feed the deer, Arnie." And he got kicked out of the casino for pulling cigarettes out of the ashtray and smoking. It was very bad. But anyway, Feed the Deer, Arnie was great. Number 2, the playful daddy-daughter ice cream date.
Yes.
Where she smashes the ice cream into his face. I picture like an alternate version of this movie where it's like him and Bill Paxton in True Lies, where it makes him so mad that he just smashes her face on the table and then like snaps back into reality. So that stuff really makes me laugh.
I feel like the middle ground would be even funnier. It's like if he looks upset with her and just goes, "What are you doing? Why would you do that to my face? Don't you want your ice cream?" Yeah, I love. So then she makes him a sandwich, and there's kind of like it's like them at their house. I mean, in general, it's really cute, right? And it gives us this understanding of Arnold's character. I don't think we got a name of yet, but John Matrix, and his current living situation, which is clearly this is his daughter. He loves her very much. She clearly loves him very much, and they're just coexisting. It looks like, somewhere near like Bear Mountain or something, like Southern California, but up in the mountains. And, it's like this really wonderful, sweet sort of thing. She makes him a sandwich though. And I've got 2 kids who, like to help cook, and they want to do more and more of that. And it's, we're letting them do as much kind as they can.
Yeah.
They're a little younger than her. I think at least Alyssa Milano was 13 when she filmed this. So I'm just assuming the character's around there, and my kids are a little younger. But when she puts the sandwich down in front of him and he goes, "What's in this?" And she says, "You don't want to know?" I was like, yes, I do. Now I want to know even more. Now I absolutely must know before I'm putting this thing in my mouth. What the fuck is in this sandwich, Jenny?
Yeah.
Like, how can you just be like, okay, I'll eat this anyway.
He just bites into it. But I have food allergies. No, it has shellfish.
No tree nuts.
Oh my God. Yeah, really good. And then this is a great 80s joke here. So he's flipping through one of her teen music magazines and it had Boy George on the cover, and he says, "Why don't they just call him Girl George? It would cut off all the confusion." It's like, what a perfect dad joke. But for a dad in 85, that's a fire joke.
It is.
Then.
It is funny how few years it takes for like a very innocent sounding dad pun to go like, God, is this like transphobic? Like, what are we like? Are we like do we really need to do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't take that many years to get there.
But it's also, right down the middle of the plate.
That's
the guy's
true.
name is Boy George.
That's true. That's easy. Steven D'Souza got better with his one-liners. I feel like this was the warm up to Die Hard.
Exactly.
His writing got much better in Die Hard.
Steven D'Souza's minor league movie here.
That's right.
So all this perfect, "Oh, Daddy, I love you. I just want to live here in the mountains peacefully forever.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're forever retired from the military."
Forever.
You hear a helicopter coming off from the distance, right?
Right.
So it's a friendly helicopter.
Yep.
And basically General Kirby. Mm-hmm. Who is wearing the shittiest looking bit of uniform I've ever seen. It's just like a black sweater with a name tag and 2 stars. But then the other guys have cool ass uniforms on.
But he's got those cool shoulder pads, sort of reinforced parts on his sweater. Those are pretty good. Pretty good.
I feel like if you're with the camouflage guys, you got to be in the camouflage version of your shit.
That's
fair.
That's fair.
It was a real mission. So basically, Kirby comes and he's Matrix's former commander, and he's like, "Hey, someone's snuffing out all the members of your team, so we sent our two of our best guys here to protect you." So he's protected forever.
Yes, totally protected forever. So Kirby goes to leave after, saying, hey, we'll leave these guys with you and everything will be fine. And I think before the helicopter has even crested the hill in the distance, John looks up and kind of raises his face to the wind like a predator hunting prey, and then dives to the ground, I believe, as snipers kill the two, or at least shoot the two soldiers, killing one of them. And they're under attack now, but they're able to sort of kind of get away. He's able to get Jenny momentarily to safety.
Yeah,
but they're under attack, and it was like I love the soldier says something about like. He's like, you're downwind, use that to advantage. He's like, what is it downwind? Do you think I'll smell them? He goes, I did.
It's the best.
It's so good.
He's all the Predator team in one guy, kind of. So that's his Billy. He's the Voltron that becomes of all the Predator guys.
That's so, because he's got the bad jokes of Blaine and Hawkins mixed together.
Yep.
He's got, Mac's sort of like threatening one-liners.
Yeah.
He's got Billy's tracking, and if we asked him to, he could probably speak Spanish like Pancho.
That's right. and he has Dylan and Dutch's biceps, one on each arm.
One on each arm.
So he basically like, all right, chill out a minute. I got to go get my guns in the shed. He has like
great armory.
Gun shed.
Yeah, great armory. I'm frankly, just spoiler, I guess, but disappointed that doesn't come back later.
Yeah,
we never go back to that. I'm like, that is such a cool armory that he's got like at his mountain house.
Definitely, very, very Arnie. You could tell he helped design that.
Yeah.
But basically this happened incredibly fast.
Yeah.
He gets upstairs. The one guard that was wounded and kind of survived, like just falls out of the door. Dead.
Oh yeah.
And then one of the bad guys is sitting there holding this like little paper heart that his daughter had put on the fridge. I love daddy. And he's just like, hey man, relax. Everything's cool. And they're driving down the hill with his daughter.
Yeah.
You can see she's been kidnapped.
Ugh.
So he basically says, hey, if you want your kid back, you better cooperate. Right?
Wrong.
And then Arnie,
wrong.
Blasts him away.
Oh man.
Okay, real quick, and then I'll hand it over. But so he's got to go pursue these guys, and they're going down the hill, and he runs out to his car.
Yes.
And of course, they've disabled his car. This was one of the things that when we were watching in college killed me, and we still quote to this day. So during the scene, he reaches in and pulls out like the distributor cap or whatever was just loosened.
Right. Yeah.
And our friend Brian Bush said, "They put wires in my car." And any of the dudes that I went to school with, like to this day, would know that. So they put wires in his car, and he basically, okay, well, I'm just going to roll this thing down the hill and see what happens.
He's going to ghost ride the whip. He's a big hyphy fan,
Yep.
and he's, I know this is before Mac Dre, by quite a few years, but that's okay.
E. Shorty.
There you go, E. Shorty. Oh yeah, tell me when to go right now. Go ahead now. So yeah, he gets in and he's like, well, if I can't drive the vehicle, I am on top of a mountain basically. Maybe I can just ride it down. This actually reminded me of there was when in high school I was hanging out with some folks. You would know them as well. But we were hanging out at Jay Pachura's house up in Blackhawk or near there where there's a lot of hills and stuff.
Yeah.
And someone decided, hey, I bet we could coast out of here all the way to the guardhouse at the bottom. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we probably could because it's like pretty high. So I'm in the car behind driving, and then one of our friends is in the car in front, and I'm coasting, which includes, of course, utilizing the brakes.
Yeah.
Just not the gas.
Right.
As I watch the car in front of me careen towards a turn, slam into the curb, breaking the front axle of the vehicle.
Oh my
It was the most
God.
ridiculous thing. And it was like, so what do you think coasting means? Was kind of the conversation we had afterwards, which we should have had before. But that's what 17-year-olds do.
He gets out. He's like, which one of y'all put wires in my car?
Right, exactly. But they also, as it turns out for Mr. Matrix here, they also cut his brakes, which is a problem because, I was thinking to myself, well, at least he still has his brakes. He'll be able to control his descent. No.
He's controlling a little. He's doing some
doing
ski type moves a little bit. But yeah, I mean,
He's trying.
But luckily his timing is pretty good.
Yeah.
And he kind of causes an accident with them. His blazer immediately explodes.
Right.
And then he climbs up a hill unarmed, and there's like 6 guys with machine guns pointed at him, and he just grabs the end of the machine. It's like a kid where the parent's pointing in their face and the kid grabs the finger.
Plus, I'm pretty sure machine gun barrels get hot. Like, I'm not 100% sure because I'm not a gun connoisseur, but I do think there's heat involved in the firing of a weapon.
Yeah. So basically they end up, overcoming him, and they tranquilize him.
That's right.
But before he's knocked out, he sees the face of this really Freddie Mercury looking guy who's wearing like a chainmail vest, and he's like his old teammate Bennett. And we get the great, Bennett, I thought you were dead. You thought wrong, John.
did.
The great Vernon Wells. I mean, he's been in a lot of movies that we like. Had a hell of a couple seasons with the Toronto Blue Jays alongside Jose Bautista. A few
Might be a
years ago.
different Vernon Wells.
Yeah,
Not sure. We'll have to look into that. Well, here's the thing, though. I gotta say, my first introduction to one of the two big villains of the movie, I'm going to call myself less than impressed.
Yeah.
Bennett is not particularly muscular. He's actually quite soft in the middle. I argue that is not a chainmail vest. Looking closely at it, it really looks like it's crocheted, like it's just fabric. I think it's made of yarn.
That's his version of chainmail,
I suppose. So he's got the, psychotic Australian Freddie Mercury mustache, the fingerless gloves, the leather pants, and the crocheted pullover vest. This is the least intimidating bad guy of any movie I've ever seen. Least intimidating.
He is hilarious. It's really funny, and all your points are well taken, especially the not muscular thing. And like, I'm sorry, we saw Predator. There are plenty of guys you could have cast at that. Right. I mean, imagine a bad Jesse Ventura or a bad Carl Weathers or something
Even
like that.
Shane Black, who wasn't particularly buff, still had a more imposing figure than Bennett does. Like,
it's a really funny version of the character, and he always cracks me up. I love all the choices they made. He looks like he's in Mad Max Furry Road,
right? Which of course he was in The Road Warrior. So
oh god. So they kidnap John Matrix, and basically the point is, all right, we need you. Dan Hedaya, who I don't know if we need to say anything about Dan Hedaya.
I mean, I love Dan Hedaya, but he will, for me, always be Cher's dad in Clueless more than any other particular role. I'm sure that is not, I'm sure if you asked people who are real big Dan Hedaya fans, that would not be right the signature role of his career for them. But for me, it always will be. That character is so funny to me in that movie, and we'll obviously get to that high school comedy someday on the show. But yeah, Dan Hedaya is here, and look, I like him. He's a good actor. What is going on with this accent?
I swear to God, there was no coaching other than I just do an accent.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's wild. It's wild. I wrote down in particular, after writing a note that Dan Hedaya's accent is kind of trash, Velasquez. He keeps pronouncing this person that they want John to go assassinate in their country of Valverde, which, by the way, and looking it up, I found out is actually also the location of Predator. The fictional Central American nation of Valverde is where they have to go across the border in Predator to go. It was used in several other movies, actually. I
did see that it was, that they made it up for this, or this was the first appearance, but it's been in other stuff.
Exactly. It was a pretty common, like, generic Central American Banana Republic, right, for 80s movies. And so they need to go, they want John to go to Valverde, where apparently he had operated in the past, so these guys all know him, whatever, and assassinate the current leader so that Dan Hedaya's character, Arias or something like that. I can't remember. Gets to like take back over. Maybe I think he must be like an exiled despot, right? Basically.
Totally.
So this is the thing. And John's like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. Like, whatever. He's like, well, basically you don't, we'll kill your daughter. And so the plan is to get him on an airplane.
Yep.
And two guys will go with him to the airport, and one of them will travel with him all the way to Valverde. And so then there's a guy who needs to see him get on the plane and basically call in to say, yeah, he got on the plane, we're good. Then 11 hours later, they say they're going to land in Valverde, and the guy getting off the plane with them has to call in and be like, we're here, he's here, blah, blah, blah. I'll let you know when the job's done. And the idea is like, hey, if either of those don't happen, your daughter's dead.
Right.
Like, we're killing her, like, not playing around. So it's like, I mean, look, you got to do what you got to do. Like, they've got her. He can't escape with her right now. He's got no way out. So let's go for it, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he's all right. Well, he's stuck, at least in the beginning of this plan. Quickly, it flashes back to his house where Kirby and the other army guys have arrived to see kind of the carnage there. And Kirby just quickly asks the guy, any sign of Matrix? And the other guy goes, no, just bodies. And he's like, are there any, should we look for any more or whatever? And he's like, if Matrix is involved, you're going to expect a lot more. Like, oh, I love it. It's just like Colonel Troutman and Rambo. So, I mean, this is Schwarzenegger's Rambo too.
There are so many parallels between this and Rambo too. Yeah.
Okay. So these couple guys here that are set to take Arnie to the airport. Richards is the tall black dude in like the safari looking outfit. It looks like that's not for a mean guy. That's for like a cool, fun guy to wear. It's kind of a bummer that he's dressed like that.
Yeah.
And then the other guy who we've seen in some other movies, I forget the actor's name right now, but in The Warriors, he's the Warriors come out and play guy who's clanking the bottles together with his fingers, Sully, who to me, look, morally, Sully and I are not on the same page anywhere. As far as a character in a movie that cracks me the fuck up, Sully has it for me.
That's great. My biggest thing was I was constantly distracted when all three of these men are on screen together about how enormous Arnold and the large black man are and how tiny Sully is.
Yeah.
Guy's got to be 5'2". Like, at best.
He is a shrimp for sure. He's a shrimp for sure. He does one of my favorite insulting things where he puts like a $20 bill in Arnie's top shirt pocket and pats it. It's like, get some beers in Valverde. It'll let everyone have some more time with your daughter. This guy's percentage of lines that are like increasingly the scummiest shit you've ever heard. It's really amazing. It's really amazing.
I do love we get an I'll be back from Arnold here, right? As he's like getting out of the car, which is great because I just love self-referential shit like that. Like, you know, and then, like when Sully says that, like, first of all, I almost gasped with just how disgustingly forward that comment is, knowing that Jenny is like a young teen. Yeah. And he's like, "You're funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last."
Yeah.
It's like, I thought to myself, nah, man, you should definitely kill him first. I wonder what'll happen later. Okay.
So Arnie and Richards now get on the plane.
Yes.
And I love, you know what it could be a potential tag for us is flying without baggage.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Because I feel like that shows up a lot.
It
right?
does. Yes.
So Arnie and Richards kind of escorts him on the plane and they sit down first class, not bad, of the Valverde future dictatorship to treat him a little bit. And the steward asks, you know, any carry-on luggage? And he's like, just him. So really good. The guy gets pissed off. So Arnie asks for a blanket and a pillow, snaps this guy's neck and covers him up. And before he stands up, he says, "You'll have to excuse my friend. He's dead tired."
So bad.
God damn.
So now he's got to find a way off the plane because the plane has started moving. Like the door is closed. It's starting to taxi out to the runway. He's got to figure out how to get off the plane. Luckily for him, I mean, he couldn't know this, but Sully is kind of watching the plane taxi off towards the runway. And he's decided, good, they're on the plane. It's moving. I can go. But in the meantime, John's trying to get off that plane. So he goes down into the cargo hold. It's like, it looks like a 747. So it's actually got multiple like levels. He goes down to the galley and then he's able to go like, towards cargo where we get the guard dog of the 80s.
The official guard dog of the 80s, the Doberman
That's
Pinscher.
Right. He gets barked at by a Doberman, luckily in a cage, not actually a threat to him. But then he gets down towards the landing gear. And when this happened, my first thought was, bye-bye, pinball. But, you know, so yet again, somebody is leaving or attempting at least to leave a plane through the landing gear, which could be a tag, especially if we end up doing Toy Story 2, because then that'll be another time when that happens. But yeah, so this happens where he's now doing the whole thing. He's got to like climb down onto the landing gear. And I was wondering why he wasn't
just letting go immediately.
Letting go right away, because it's like, yeah, that'll hurt, but it probably wouldn't. Well, here's the thing. It would barely hurt John Matrix. He's an Arnold Schwarzenegger action character, but even a normal human probably wouldn't get seriously injured. I don't know, maybe. It depends how fast you're going at that point. But the wheels were still on the ground, so it wasn't a super long distance. But he holds on, and pretty quickly it's obvious why. As the plane actually takes off, it kind of crosses over, and I haven't flown in and out of LAX enough to know for sure, but like there's marshland or something, I guess, right past the runway.
Yeah, I think it's
and he drops off into there.
Convenient swamp for him to plop into.
It would be the kind of thing if you were coming into or leaving SFO in San Francisco.
Yeah,
you got a lot of water to deal with there, but I don't know. So LAX apparently has some swampland or marshland right outside its runways, and he's able to drop off into the marsh. And so now his buddy is off. And there's an important kind of thing, I think we maybe missed this here, where he specifically asked how long till you land in Valverde, and the stewardess says 11 hours.
That's right. So he set it, we get it on his watch there. He set his watch as soon as he fell 750 feet, like directly into a reed that impaled him. He set his watch very quickly to 11 hours.
Also, just for the record, if you're flying essentially south from LAX for 11 hours, you're getting to Buenos Aires, not Central America. Like that is way more time than would ever be necessary to fly to this fictional country, unless it is nearly Antarctic South America. Then yes, then it would take that long. So just a little thing, but that's okay. They need time to, you know, sort of allow for this ticking clock to happen so that there's enough time for the story to take place, basically, is kind of where we're at. And this is also one thing I want to mention, this whole plot device of this 11-hour flight and everybody being out of, you know, sync or out of contact during that time. Another piece that just would never work in the era of cell phones, right? If anybody in this movie, any of the bad guys had a cell phone, Jenny's dead within the first act, basically.
For sure.
So luckily, that's not the case. He can be out of pocket and also undetected for a certain amount of time. He's got this clock running. So.
Yeah, so it's good. So we're like, all right, stakes set. We're ready to roll with the time here. I enjoy the score of this movie. The repeating like steel drum. It sounds like
steel drum?
Michael Scott playing his steel drum in his office. It's great.
I literally stopped the movie to point this out to my wife, who was not actually watching with me. She's not a fan of this kind of movie, but like I paused it while she was watching her BritBox, crime drama that she watches. And I said, when I say steel drum, like what kind of environment do you think of? And she was like, we're talking about it's like the Caribbean, like Jamaica, the Bahamas, like something like that. I'm like, yeah, this movie takes place entirely in Los Angeles. And a little bit in like Santa Barbara later, right? Yeah. But it's like, that's basically it. And there is steel drum in like every scene. I don't understand why.
I think, I mean, the Bob Marley story didn't have as much steel drum. There's like, I like it. I like the score. I enjoy it. It works for me. Mm-hmm. So now we're back in the airport and Arnie's kind of like, he's making his way across the runway.
Right.
We see the flight attendant on the phone, on the pay phone, and Sully, who should just be like, all right, well, I'm done, and now I'm going to get on with business. He cannot help himself.
Yep. Because he's made the call. He's made the call to say John got
he's on the plane,
exactly,
right? Yeah. And he's like talking to her while she's having a phone conversation.
It's insane.
And if you're watching this for the first time, you're probably thinking, man, this is as rude as it gets.
No, it's 1985. I knew it was going to get worse.
She ends her conversation with, okay, well, I like you too.
I like you
killed
too.
me, yeah. And Sully is like, like you said before, he's a 5'2" dude.
Yeah.
Looks like a total douchebag. He would be like a hanger-on of Ellis from Die Hard. He'd be like Ellis's like third level friend,
his
right?
toady.
And he's wearing a suit that looks like it's made out of like the carpet from an airport or a casino or something. It's one of the worst suits I've ever seen in my life.
And also sized for his father. It really appears.
It is a David, what's his name from Talking Heads?
Oh, David Byrne.
Yeah, it's a David Byrne suit there.
Yes. But the stewardess, the character's name is Cindy, I believe, right?
Yeah,
so
Cindy.
Played by the beautiful Rae Dawn Chong, and
great actress, great name. I love Rae Dawn Chong. I love saying it.
And also so far out of Sully's league, it's not even funny. Like this is not somebody who would give that person at the time of day.
Yeah, not only is he like not good looking, I'm sure he smells bad. He's not charming. He's openly an asshole. He's like, there's nothing he's offering here.
Speaking of how he smells, for sure it's 100% just completely overdone, like London Gentleman, like some kind of crappy like 1980s cologne straight out of Macy's.
He has the model Rick Martel's novelty giant cologne thing that he sprays himself with every morning. So he ends up like following her all the way to the parking garage. Well, Arnie has an eye on Sully because he's like, Sully is the key to finding out where my daughter is, right? And as he's like 5 feet behind her, and is still being very nice. She finally ends it with like, look. He's like, oh, you don't know what you're missing. And she's like, from here, it looks like a nightmare. Now, would you please leave me alone? And then the most earnest I've ever seen any actor deliver this line. And I know it's not cool now, but it makes me laugh very hard. Is him looking at her and going, you fucking whore. It's just, there's so much hate. It's like he accessed every... I don't know, man.
He flipped a switch there
to
go from like flirting with like, it was pretty wild. But it gives us that much more of an indicator of just who Sully is.
Yeah,
he's a terrible guy. So then John basically carjacks Cindy, sort of, not before ripping the seat out of her car. Which
It's
never
really
just
makes
another
sense
like,
hey, we haven't shown how strong this guy was
is
in the
that
last few
okay?
minutes.
All right, so he rips the seat out of her car and sits on.
Well, I guess he could sit lower with no seat,
I suppose, but his head's still above the like door, and I mean he's still visible from there. And now, what is he sitting on? Is he sitting on like the track or whatever that the seat used to move back and forth on?
Yeah,
I don't know. Very strange. Couldn't be comfortable. He tells Cindy to follow Sully's car. He's driving a Porsche, so easy to follow. But it's like a pretty interesting. It's not like a chase because they're trying to like not make it obvious that they're following him, but they are having to kind of drive a little crazy because Sully drives a little crazy. They get to the Galleria. They get to a mall, same mall
T2
as in
Galleria.
Terminator 2. That's right. All the sequence. So when we get the T800 and 1000 first meeting each other, same mall.
Yeah.
And basically, they follow Sully into the mall, basically, right? And so now he's got something with him. Is that right?
Yeah. So Sully goes into the mall. Before when Matrix and Cindy are driving there, it's very funny that she's kind of trying to get information from him or whatever. He's like, this guy wants me dead. She's like, well, I understand. I've known you for 10 minutes and I want you dead too. She's firing
hilarious.
off a few lines. I think she's great in this. But there's something that I hadn't caught before that really cracked me up. Is he's like, I'm retired Army or whatever. She's like, oh, so my taxes pay your pension? Or she's like, I'm paying for you to fucking carjack me right now. So we're at the mall and Sully goes in. Sully has a briefcase and it looks like he's got some other business that he's doing there. Right. So he's on his way to meet some dude in there. And Arnie's, telling Cindy, like, look, you have to follow this guy and get me in there somehow. Like, that's the only chance I have. Cindy very nicely I'm sure she's terrified, but she's going along with this
initially, except that she then immediately alerts when security.
So I guess she's good at like playing along until she can get saved.
It's classic stewardess, basically, right? You tell the customer whatever they want to hear because you're locked on a plane with them. But by the time you go talk to the captain, it's like, so we're going to need police at the landing airport to get this guy as soon as we land, whatever. So she does alert the mall cops, and there's a lot of them. Like
there are so many.
We hung out in a lot of malls in the 90s. I know I did. I'm sure you did as well. And I don't ever remember at any given moment seeing more than like 2 security guards at a time.
Yeah, you'd imagine the biggest emergency, there'd be 4 or 5 guys that are there.
Tops.
And then the rest would have to be coming in. But yeah, this place was like, it's like every store was a Zales.
Yeah.
And they just like had guards.
Had their own guards, except they're all wearing the same uniform. Yeah. But I do love one guy gets on the radio to kind of get the attention because she points out John, he's kind of half hiding behind a pillar.
Yeah.
And she goes, that guy's, he kidnapped me and he's like trying to hurt me or whatever. And so the guy gets like, hey, we need all units, to like this spot, whatever. This is one gigantic motherfucker.
Yeah. So that guy, and then he had been like hitting on some girls before he got this call.
That's right.
And when he gets it, he goes to them. He's like, you want to see me kick some ass?
Yeah.
And he's kind of like a Michael Winslow looking guy. He looked a lot like Michael
skinny,
Winslow.
like,
yeah. So another Sully line here, because now he's in there and he's meeting with like the most cartel looking guy in one of those shitty mall bar restaurant things. And he says, the thing he says about the mall is it's a great place for hunt and slash.
Oh God. Just the grossest way to put it, dude. Hunt and slash. I cringed the second I heard it. It's so gross.
So in the meantime, we've got basically there's a commotion now because all these guys are coming after Arnie. Sully knows something's up.
Yeah.
He sees Cindy in there.
Oh, that's right.
And he's like about to be like, oh, hey.
You followed me.
And then he
like,
sees what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, I got to make a phone call.
Yeah.
And again, cell phones. Give me a quarter. I need a quarter.
That was the first time that I was kind of like, why didn't he just grab his cell phone? I went, oh, right. 1985. Like there wasn't even.
You would think that guy might have a cell phone in 85.
85, I feel like there really weren't even car phones outside of like limousines or like, you know what I mean? Like that level. And nobody carried around a cell phone. That would have been those shoulder mount, you had to get
a World War II communications backpack.
Like the satellite phone thing. If you were like super rich, maybe, but like generally, I mean, by 89,
that's true.
That guy's got a cell phone. 85 was early. So so he's got to rush to payphone.
Yeah.
And as Matrix is having to fight off all these security guards and like, he's doing a good job generally trying not to kill them, but we'll see what happens, But he goes and he chases Sully down. He gets into a phone booth, which Matrix just picks up.
I love it
as
so
if it
much.
Weighs nothing at all, rips it kind of off of its bearings or whatever. Pretty wild.
Yeah, and just like, tumbles it over and everything.
Yeah.
And then like right after that, this sequence is maybe my favorite in the movie. So he picks the phone booth, flips it over, and then some of the 75 cops that are there, the security guards, who are all mall security who have guns and stuff, which I don't
remember that. Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen. So they jump on him and he like jumps up and pushes his arms out and they go flying like he just busted out of a pile of dead leaves. It's so funny that they just scatter everywhere.
It's very, very comic book. Like this is, MCU before the MCU, right?
Yeah.
Like
the shady dude that Sully was meeting, he runs out of the restaurant. No one's even going after him, but he's just like, there's something happening. And he starts shooting, immediately gets shot, and his briefcase full of cash just sprinkles down on the mall below.
Love it.
Just like,
love it.
Here we go, Mark L. Lester. Let's make this thing as over the top as possible.
This also, I think, another thing that we've seen at least in a couple movies. I know for sure T2, and I know it'll come in some others we have scheduled to do later. Chaos in a mall.
Yeah.
Very common kind of thing, it feels like, in this era. But so we get just like with Terminator 2, we get massive chaos in the mall here. Oh man. So now Sully leaves. He's gotten to his car, and basically Cindy and John have to chase him down in Cindy's car.
Yeah.
Now John is driving.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's the same height as he was sitting where there was no seat. And now she's sitting where there's no seat and looks normal.
Yeah.
And she even mentions, you ripped the seat out of my car. So it's not like they're trying to make us forget that happened. It just doesn't make any sense, like who's sitting where and why. But still don't know why he ripped that seat. I'll never understand why he rips the seat out of the car.
It looked cool.
Yeah.
So they're on this car chase. They're going up the hills after Sully. I think they're on the mountain road that leads to the trailer park from The Last Starfighter.
Very similar.
Because I was just like, dude, this looks familiar here.
It does. Good old Southern California brown hills, you know?
Oh my God. And then this is really what it's all about here. So Sully manages to kind of roll his car onto the side, and Arnie crashes so hard into
killed them
pole.
Both instantly.
Especially
Ridiculous.
no seat.
No
so that
seat
would
belts.
indicate no seat belt.
Yeah, no seat. Neither of them wearing a seat belt. She's not in a seat at all. The car's a convertible with the top open, everything. They both should have been flung from that vehicle.
Crazy.
Many, many feet, probably off a cliff. Like really that movie over, cue the end, like they're dead.
Yeah. So he pulls Sully out of the car.
Yeah.
And basically he finds like a motel key in his pocket.
That's right.
So he's like, where is she? Like, what's happening? And he grabs him by his ankle and he's dangling him over the cliff.
Yes.
Maybe with a little bit of a help of, somebody put wires on his ankle or something.
You think?
But it's so funny. He's like, remember, Sully, this is my weak arm. And he's dangling him, trying to get info, and finds out that, okay, the motel key is the thing that I need to know.
Yep. Yeah.
And we get the classic line. You're better at the Arnie. You want to fire this one off?
Hey, you said you'd kill me last, John. I lied.
Remember, Sully, when I said I'd kill you last?
Oh, that's what it was. That's right.
Damn.
Remember when I told you I'd kill you last? I lied.
So good. So there goes Sully. And then he just casually walks back. And I don't know what Cindy had been doing that whole time, because she's just like, what happened to Sully? Yeah, and he goes, I let him go.
That's right. I let him go. Yeah, where was she if she wasn't paying attention to what was happening? Like, what else was going on around her?
Yeah,
was she comatose briefly from the crash?
I mean, that's believable.
I guess. Like,
otherwise, she was like, "Ooh, I've never seen a Porsche before."
It's just on its side or whatever, right? Because then he has to like flip the
just
car
flips
over.
it over, and then it's fine.
Because
and
she's
it's
like,
not dented anymore.
She's like, you don't have a car, and he goes, "No, I do." Like, it's so bad. Oh God. Okay. So now I think we cut to a compound. Jenny is arriving, right? We get a scene of her with Bennett and Arias like showing up at this compound, which we're not really told much about where it is. Like, we don't know how far they've gone, whatever. But it's clearly like guards and with machine guns, like the whole deal. So this is where she's going to be held for now. And yeah, so there's that. We just get a sense.
Quick,
she's like put in this room basically with nothing in it, and so now she's a prisoner. We know where she is.
Yeah, and while Cindy and Matrix are now driving to try to get to the next place, he's explaining a little bit more about her daughter, and this is like one of the only serious things in the movie where he's talking about, I've been in Army Special Forces, like I do the stuff that's so secret I can't even talk about it, and when my daughter was doing this, I was here when this was happening. So he's like making up for lost time, and he's like, this is my fault that she got kidnapped.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of like, I don't need this bullshit in this kind of movie. We don't need emotions.
Right.
No, but that's the explanation of it. So at least it's not like all the stuff I've done in the Army was good. He says something about like, I wish I wasn't there for some of it.
Yeah.
So, so now we find the motel.
Right. So we get to the motel. They've got a key. So they go to the room that the key is for, and they're starting to kind of look around and search. While they're searching for, they don't really even know what, I don't think they're just looking for any kind of indication of where Jenny might be. Cook, the Bill Duke character, he shows up in his car to the motel and kind of catches them mid-search, and a fight begins, right?
Yeah.
And there's a gun initially, but Matrix is able to knock the gun out of his hand, I think. And then do they both have knives, or are they just fighting? I can't remember exactly.
They're fighting.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot happening here. And there's those sick decorative glass blocks that are just getting housed every time they're throwing each other into the wall.
So classic 80s, those things.
Oh, it's really good. So there's kind of like a T2 style Terminator fight, right? And of course, you have to go through a wall.
Right.
And you never go through a wall into an empty motel room. That's boring as shit.
Right.
It has to be a naked couple who are fucking and filming themselves because there's a camera on a tripod
I noticed that. I was like, I thought this was interesting because at first I didn't notice that. And it was like, as the scene with them ended and they went back into the room, I caught it kind of out of the corner of my eye while I'm watching the fight. And I go, oh wait, they were like making a porno or something. Like what? How weird! What a strange detail to include.
Seriously,
like I'm not against it or anything, but it's just an odd detail.
It was funny. Maybe they planned on like there was a deleted scene where after all this melee, Arnie walks in and pops the VHS tape out of the camcorder, like puts it in his jacket pocket and leaves. So yeah, basically in this fight with Cook, they're going back and forth, throwing each other around, and Cook ends up just getting impaled on some like bars that were sticking up out of the ground from shit they've broken earlier.
Very Pacific Heights. Not really sure where the thing that the guy falls on came from necessarily.
Right. So they got to search Cook's car now. They're looking for clues, and I think they basically found
they find a
location of something.
Well, they find like a receipt, like basically
That's
like
right.
he buy like for jet fuel or plane fuel, basically. And it's and we find out here that Cindy, not just as a stewardess, but has been training to be a pilot and has been learning how to fly, so she knows like a fair amount about some of this stuff. And she mentions like the kind of plane fuel, like we can go let's go to that place but that's what it is. Like they make chemicals and they make fuel or something like that. So they go to this place called Patria, I think is the name of the place. One thing I noticed as they drive up to it, it's like an industrial, facility of some kind. There was like a really green mist of coming out of the building that I thought for sure was going to mean something at some point. Like I'm of the mind, I watch movies and I've been doing it, I think more so since we started this project, like trying to watch for things that, like a Chekhov's gun situation that might come up later, where it's like, oh, that looks important. I should remember that, that we have that. This movie keeps tricking me. We don't see his armory in the mountain house again. This green mist doesn't mean anything. Like so many things that look like they should be deliberate choices that like have some effect on the plot or the characters end up not.
Right.
But there is this green mist coming off of a fairly large section of this building. I don't understand why.
Hey, it looks cool.
It does. It looks very
like
cool.
Chemicals.
Yeah.
And part of them coming in is this chain link fence that, of course, is locked together with a chain and a padlock. And Arnie just grabs the chain and rips it open like it's a cheap zip tie.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
So they get inside here and, he's crawling through this warehouse and they're trying to find this plane. This is kind of the clue they're looking for.
Right.
And it's all full of all this weaponry and there's all these soldiers around and shit. But he's able to sneak around until he gets into this map room or whatever. Yeah. He kills one of my favorite random henchmen, Branscombe Richmond, who's been in a lot of shit. He was on the TV show Renegade.
Okay.
If you've seen him in the last recent years, he has a lot of accessories on.
Okay.
So basically, he conveniently ends up in this room, which basically has a map with a circle of exactly where they're going to go and a receipt stapled to it with like it's the most convenient set of documents. I really love it. But he lets Cindy in through the window.
That's right.
She's able to tell him this.
Two things I love about this is he had told her go around the corner like before he goes to sneak in.
Yeah.
He has no idea where he's going, but apparently he led her directly to the window to the room he needed to get to, because when he goes and like looks out, she's right there and he helps her in. Second, the island that they need to go to is already circled on the map, and then he draws like with the T-square or whatever, like latitude and longitude markers and like an X color, but the X is in the middle of a circle already drawn on the map.
It's like Crocodile Dundee looking at his watch and then looking at his son to tell somebody what time it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a photograph of the plane and then a receipt for the fuel, and of course Cindy's like, oh, that many gallons is probably exactly how much it would take to get to this island
and back. And she said the type of fuel is for a seaplane. Like she knows all this stuff, which is very convenient. I love that.
I love it.
But she does know all that stuff. So I think this is when they then go, they go to leave, but he's like, we got to get some equipment.
Yeah.
Right.
She says, are we going to the plane?
Yeah.
He's like, no. Where are we going? Shopping.
That's right. So they go to like an army surplus store.
Yeah.
And basically this is they couldn't get him back to his own armory because it's too far away. So this is sort of the replacement armory.
Exactly.
And it's like, I really wish there'd been a way to make it his instead. But they go through, and it also, very similar to like T2, the underground armory, that Sarah Connor sets up, that they go through in T2 where they're picking stuff off the walls. Lots of movies do this, right? The Matrix does this. Like so many great movies do this where it's like, you're just picking stuff off the walls. Love it.
And it was like a secret button. So it's just normally like an army surplus store that sells cargo pants and shitty compasses.
Cots.
But then there's always a secret button that opens up the machine gun and bazooka room, and you can go in there and there's grenades and everything's laid out so nicely. It's just like a little boy's dream there.
As a first-time watcher of this movie, there was a great moment for me here, which is they're going through, he's grabbing shotguns and rifles and machine guns. He gets a rocket launcher. She even asks, what's this? He goes, the rocket launcher, missile launcher, whatever he says. So she's like putting stuff in this cart. And then he picks up a minigun. And I'm like, yes, we have another minigun situation. Oh, because that's when the cops show up and arrest him, and he doesn't get the minigun. Luckily, Cindy has already packed up the car, I guess, and it's not.
Yeah, it seems like most of the stuff or some is already in the car.
Apparently, it's a convertible full of now weaponry right in front of the place being robbed.
Not
but
suspicious.
She's not a person of interest at all. The cops don't even look her way. So they arrest Matrix. And actually, I was kind of surprised by this. I thought to myself, I was like, damn, he's actually like been arrested. Like that. How are they gonna fix this?
Yeah.
You
notice that they arrest him and they just lead him unhandcuffed into the back of the police
I didn't notice
van.
that.
He's not handcuffed at all. He hasn't been
was.
searched or anything because he still has his watch on and
Oh
shit.
my God.
Yeah. So, and he's telling the cops, he's like, call General Franklin Kirby. He will explain everything. And the guy's like, oh yeah, Kirby. Yeah, I think we picked him up last night. Like good dismissive cop. And if I'm the cop, I'm saying the same shit there. It's like, dude, you were just robbing a surplus store. I don't think there's an army directive for this.
Tell it to the judge.
Yeah.
Like, sort of, but yeah, so they're driving off ostensibly to take him to jail. And so Cindy follows in the car. And this I love. She pulls up alongside the cops. I think they're stopped at a stoplight, maybe. Pulls up alongside, and the cop looks over and goes, hey, and like says to his buddy that it's a hooker.
Yeah.
When is the hooker ever the one in the car?
Seriously.
Isn't the hooker on the street and the car drives up to her?
Yeah.
Like, how does this supposed to work? And aren't you a cop? Like, this is such a weird reaction.
No, it is crazy.
They believe she's a hooker or whatever. So as they start driving away, I think she gets up and
stands up in the car. So basically the light turns green and they drive away. And then they're kind of looking at her in the rear view. Like, what is she doing there? She's standing up in the car. And then all of a sudden she puts the rocket launcher over her shoulder, hits the button.
It goes backwards.
It goes backwards.
Destroying like a bus stop or something, just demolishing this poor bus stop.
But luckily she had a second shot and she turns it around and it's the most perfect shot of all time. Like no injury shot to anybody in the vehicle, right under the tire, flips it perfectly.
Perfect.
And she comes up and she picks up Mr. Matrix.
When she fired the missile the wrong direction, I thought, okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
What's she going to try now instead of that? Then she turns the thing around. I go, oh, no, dear, you don't know how to use, like, clearly you don't know how to use this. So then she does it. And I'm thinking about, like, I'm literally thinking to myself as I'm watching this, like, she's like gonna kill him. Like this, what is she doing? Sure enough, though, that she like skips the rocket, like under the truck, and it all works out fine. And then I love, he asks, how did you know how to do that? And she goes, I read the instructions.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Totally good answer, Cindy. Nice work.
Oh man. So now they're cruising there. They're trying to get to this plane and
Yes.
they're heading towards the plane and they've got their bags of stuff.
Yep.
And they haven't quite been discovered yet, but these guys kind of see them as they're getting
in the plane. Yeah.
So we got a shootout here and Cindy's trying to get the thing flying. And of course, I've never seen a plane. You're only ever flying a type of plane that you've never seen in your life, right? It's never like, oh, sick, this is the same plane I trained on. It's always like, what is this thing?
This thing has like too many engines. She's used to a Cessna.
Yeah.
This is too big. She says to me, it's not a plane, it's a canoe with wings.
Yeah,
right?
it's this old like seaplane.
And then she complains that there's no LED readout. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to touch that. LED. I thought LED was a newer technology, but I don't know. I guess it only is in televisions.
And so Arnie's like shooting at these guys and like going back in like, come on, get going. And then I don't love this line, but I think it's funny when he hits it. He's like, come on, you piece of shit. And then he hits it. He goes, fly or die. And Fonzie's it. And then the plane just fires up and starts rolling.
Yeah. But we did get a cut. I don't know. It's like right before they arrive there, we just get a quick cut that Jenny is still in the room that she's being held in, but has started kind of looking. She like opens up these windows and sees they've been boarded up. This like French door sort of thing right near her has been boarded up, but she starts kind of trying to figure out if she can get out. I don't know if this is when she, I think this is just when she discovers the boarded up room. Later, she'll like get a tool to
and I think like a piece. Yeah. So
but I think that's a little later.
Kind of figuring out like her outsides. And then we get a quick General Kirby, I think, where they're talking about, because now he's had word, he's at the site of the surplus store and stuff.
Yep.
And
somebody did call him apparently.
Yeah. And then one of the guys says to him, he's like, what are you expecting? And he goes, World War III. So again, just good Colonel Troutman type shit.
Yes.
As they're flying, you've probably picked this up. They're flying towards the island in the plane, and it cuts to a Coast Guard radar guy saying, hey, you're not allowed to fly here. Get down. Bill Paxton.
That's right. It was Bill Paxton for sure. He's the guy.
So good to see. So good to see Bill Paxton.
Very early role. Obviously, I didn't look to see just how early in his career this was, but obviously an earlier role. I think this must have been before Weird Science, right?
Yeah,
86 or 87. So yeah, that's always when I think Bill Paxton early role, Weird Science is the first one that comes to mind. Not having seen this before, but yeah, he's there and he's basically telling him. And then so they have to try to. He says something like, "Can you fly under the radar?" And she's like, "Well, not marine radar," which like makes sense. It's a different kind of thing. But she's still able to sort of.
She says
dodge
this
them or something. What is it?
Listen, if we have any pilots or any Coast Guard people listening, the show at twodads1movie.com, because she says if I fly it low enough, the waves will mask our location, which seems like, well, that sounds a lot like crashing into the water. Like,
are you
sure, that
underwater?
sure solves your radar problem, but it.
Regardless, they are able to approach the island, which I think they said earlier was like off the coast of Santa Barbara, so a little further north of LA, but still, Southern California.
Yeah.
They're able to land on the water far enough away from the island, apparently, that they're, going to avoid sort of detection from the shore or something like that. They find a place to chill. So he basically gathers up all of his equipment and
first he puts a Speedo on. For some reason, he strips down to a Speedo to row like half a mile to shore instead of his clothes that he already had on.
The big lifeboat sort of raft, right, that he's in. But this is now when he arrives on shore, this is like sort of the very famous brief montage of like suiting up.
Oh, I love
it.
It.
And he's like coloring on himself and like, he's putting eye black under his man boobs or whatever he's doing. It's bizarre, but he's doing all this stuff and sort of camouflaging himself and putting on the vest. And so it's now he's in the class. He's in sort of the outfit from the movie poster.
Yes,
right. That's what he's looking like now.
He's holding
looking like
every possible weapon right now.
Exactly.
He's holding hundreds of pounds of machine guns and everything. So he's ready to roll. Back at where Jenny's at, we get a quick little scene of the most intimidating bad guy of all time, Bennett.
Yes.
One of these soldiers says to him, he's like, cutting a little girl's throat is like cutting warm butter. And then Bennett's like, I love listening to your little pissant soldiers trying to talk tough. It makes me laugh. If Matrix was here, he would laugh too. And like, he's big up in Matrix. Like every time he's talking about him, it's like, oh, he's in love with Matrix.
Yes.
And that's the point of this whole thing.
He can't have him, so no one can have him.
Exactly.
That's Bennett's deal.
So yeah, Arnie ready to roll. And now I think we see Jenny kind of starting to chip away at little bits of the wood.
She's somehow, I can't remember exactly what the tool is. She figured some way to take the door handle off the inside of the door. Now she's smart enough not to just try to walk out because there are guards and stuff, but she's able to use it to sort of start to pry away the boards on the boarded up French doors. Right. So first of all, why they would put her in a ground floor room, don't ask me. That's mistake number one.
It seemed like there were 56 different rooms in that house,
big place.
in that building.
But so she has started working on an escape plan.
Yes.
Basically, and getting her way out. I also believe at this point we get a quick cut over to the country of Valverde where the plane has landed. Yes. So we are now at the point where I can't remember what you said his name, Richards, or is that the name of the?
I think that's what it was.
The guy, basically, the dead guy sitting in next to John Matrix's old seat. He's going to be discovered, and the people there expecting the two of them to get off the plane are about to figure out that they're not going to. So time is of the essence,
right? And as soon as they make the call, that's it, right?
Yeah.
So we see this starting to unfold here. Matrix starts, taking guys out at the camp, and it appears that he has walked upon a fake mustache convention.
It's really
throughout this scene, this is what makes me laugh so hard when you were talking about like how do we figure the number of people that were killed. He kills many guys multiple times each.
Yes.
Like it's just, okay, now try it with this hat and this mustache. It's like they went to a Central American guerrilla military themed photo booth and they just had to dig through the trunk of accessories, and there's only 7 different guys and they had to like switch up looks,
which makes it even funnier that there are 57 stunt actors listed in the credits and there are 40 characters listed in the cast. So there are more stunt actors than actors in the movie, and yet we still get duplicates, basically. So I'm not sure exactly how that works.
It's great. And there's certain inconsistencies here, like between the sound and what you see
Yeah.
and things that really crack me up. He sets this building to explode, and when he detonates it, it shows like a model of the building
So
exploding
bad.
several times, and
With
then the
little
building,
tiny action figure guys.
so, like they have like the stands underneath
Oh,
their
yeah.
feet. They didn't even put sand over that shit. They're like literally the army guys.
They just painted them black to make them look a little less
Dude.
obvious. But yeah, it's so bad.
fucking funny.
Here's
and
why
that's
it's a $10
that
million
Saturn
movie.
Award for best special effects.
This is why it's a $10 million movie. If it had been a $15 million movie, that would have been better.
Yeah,
that would have
yeah.
been much better.
But you know how I love movies where there's models inside, like in Die Hard,
Sure.
where they have the models of the building. So I like to think that he detonated it, and first inside that building there was a little model of the building that blew up, and then
I see.
it zoomed out to show us the actual building.
Sure, sure.
But goddamn, this is so funny, and he goes through, and he is really killing like everyone.
Yes.
And he is not taking any damage, and he's not really hiding behind stuff. He's just kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, as long as I keep shooting, my bullets are also hitting your bullets and you.
Right. It's wild. Yeah. The number of times that he is not taking cover, that he is not in any way protected, just standing, kind of waving his machine gun back and forth. And they're all shooting at him.
Yeah.
And not a single, he doesn't get like skinned by a bullet. I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah.
This is not even like, oh, I hit my ear. Nope. Didn't happen.
Not
like
a
nothing.
thing. Not a
Just
thing.
ridiculous. But fun.
Yeah.
But he's approached the mansion, which means that I've got to take a moment to mention. I don't know if you're aware of this or not. Yeah, I recognized this mansion immediately. This is the same mansion that is Victor Maitland's mansion at the end of Beverly Hills Cop. So the final sequence of Beverly Hills Cop in 1984 and Commando in 1985 take place in the same place. It's a mansion in Beverly Hills that they used to shoot both
Nice.
scenes. But yeah, I recognized it right away because Eddie Murphy and Judge Reinhold run around outside the exact same house in Beverly Hills Cop.
Jeez.
So yeah, so it is the Beverly Hills Cop mansion. I can't remember the name of the actual mansion, but it's got like a famous name because it's been used in many, many movies.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, so it's a fun little
I wonder
bit.
how high up, if you go to visit it, how high up Commando is on the list when they're talking about the movies that have been filmed there.
Below Beverly Hills Cop,
yeah.
for sure.
So Arnie he takes refuge briefly
Yeah.
in the tool shed.
Right. Like the gardening shed. Or
Which I
whatever.
love because it's just like, look at all these improvised weapons surrounding me.
Pitchforks and saw
And
blades and just
Boy,
all
does he
kinds of
go
stuff.
fucking crazy, throwing axes at people, the pitchfork to the chest. He throws a saw blade like a ninja star, and it just like when it hits somebody's skull, it does not lose any speed. It just continues to like saw all the way through a guy's head. He takes a machete, and
Right.
of course, we get a guy's arm chopped off. For those of you playing at home, that is a missing or artificial limb.
There
That
you
is
go.
a Two Dads One Movie classic.
That is becoming the most common sort of connection between our
Yes.
movies is a missing or artificial limb.
And I feel like the guy who got his arm chopped off had already been killed once and then
Yes.
gets killed still 2 more times.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So he gets into the building now. And and by the way, the phone calls come from Valverde,
Yes.
and Arias has told Bennett to go kill Jenny, but Jenny has been able to escape. She was able to get out of the room through the boarded up part and run off to like it looks like kind of like some kind of entrance to like a facilities something. It's a little hard to tell. It's like an electrical shed, and she's able to go underground,
Yeah.
right? But she had to go outside first, and then she goes back inside. But now Bennett's following her, and basically with a knife. And I'll mention in Bennett's chase of Jenny, there are several times where he's not wearing his fingerless gloves, and then later is wearing his fingerless gloves. They keep going on and off. Not great continuity there from the director, but that's okay. So now Matrix has gotten into the mansion. He's still killing guys left and right. I mean, it's just a ridiculous body count. But Arias, Dan Hedaya, has got to start defending himself. And I noticed that he has a very recognizable weapon. He's using a Steyr AUG, just like Carl in Die Hard.
Okay.
Exact same crazy large rifle that is used by Carl in that movie.
Now, do you think the writer, since it's the same writer, wrote that specific gun into
It
the
could
script?
be. It absolutely could be.
Yeah.
It's the director is different in the 2 movies, and John McTiernan was a big fan of MP5s, and that was something that he gave to all of the bad guys in his movies. But he did it in Predator, he did it in Die Hard, but maybe the Steyr is specifically a Stephen E. D'Souza thing. I'm not sure. Yeah, it could be. So
And this shootout with Arias is kind of funny. I mean, it's not the best action scene. It's just boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, going back and forth. But there's a scene where Arias shoots at him. You clearly hear 2 shots in the sound, and then behind Arnie, this like statue of a head is shot, and then there's 6 bullet holes in the wall right behind it in like a horizontal or a diagonal line. It's really funny, dude.
That might have been because I read that Dan Hedaya was so uncomfortable even with the like prop weaponry, like he just wasn't comfortable firing the gun and everything, that it took them a long time to get good takes of him shooting.
Really?
That he often was cringing and flinching as he fired the weaponry. And so it was like, apparently took them many, many takes to get it right. So I think they ended up at a point where they had to use not necessarily the takes that lined up, but just the ones where he didn't look bad.
Holy shit, that is very funny. So that's why they never made a Dan Hedaya hard.
Yeah, no.
That's funny. I've never heard of an actor like being
Dan Hedaya would
really
die
bad.
easily, it sounds like. But yeah, he apparently was not into it. I'm not sure about the details there, but yeah.
Well, now we have a kind of a final showdown about to happen, and where else to have
Wait,
this
we have to
but
mention
the
real
boiler
quick,
room?
Arias is killed by the fact that, so now John Matrix has, ran through several other weapons and has a shotgun.
Yes.
And fires and hits Arias, but he doesn't fly out the window. He gets shot 6 times in a row by the shotgun and then flies out the window.
Yeah.
Like, good Lord. Like, how the force is either enough to push you out the window or it's not. I'm not quite sure what the 6th volley really did other than make sure he's dead. But but did, got him, like he's gone.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. And even though he's the main bad guy, it didn't show him doing, other than he masterminded the kidnapping, but he wasn't like depicted doing like despicable shit, really. So it wasn't quite as satisfying of like as a Cyrus the Virus type killing.
He's the hands-off villain. Sort of. He's the
CEO of evil.
Yes, exactly. Right.
So now we have to go to a very cinema friendly place for a final showdown here, where Bennett has chased Jenny now into this like electrical room and then a boiler room. I mean, it's just the classic shit.
Yep.
Pipes, electric wires, all kinds of stuff. And they end up going down there. Matrix is shot pretty quickly by Bennett.
It's the first
arm.
time he's like really kind of wounded in any kind of way.
Yeah. It seemed like the way he reacted to it just went all the way through, which is not a big deal. Anyone out there, if you get shot, as long as it goes all the way through, you're fine. Don't even go to the hospital if you can avoid it.
Yeah. Like Louis Gossett Jr. in Toy Soldiers, man, he's all good.
But then this is where Bennett or Matrix realizes like, all right, I can beat this guy psychologically. He's obviously like obsessed with me in this crazy way.
Yep.
So he tries to appeal to that. He's like, I only have one arm. Come on, you could beat me. And you don't need that pussy gun. He gets him to throw his gun down. It's crazy, dude. He's like Jedi mind tricking him.
And this is a point I didn't write down to remember exactly what Bennett says in this, but he is trying so hard to look intimidating and be scary. And it comes off to me like an absolutely unhinged lover who is just pissed at his ex. Like that is what it comes off as, that he's just resentful of Matrix and like the life he's built for him post his love affair with Bennett. And it's just like, it's not intimidating at all.
Yeah.
Like, again, Bennett is so unbelievable as a villain. And with Arnold being such a superhuman hero in this, there isn't a counterbalance. There isn't a villain big enough in the movie for him.
Yeah, there needs some kind of like piece of machinery or like a Predator type thing.
Like the T-1000, the Predator, whatever. Anytime you've got Arnold with like a really great action movie on all levels, part of it is the villain's intimidating and big and kind of scary,
Yeah, and you get Bennett looking like Freddie Mercury saying, "Come on, John. Fat bottom girls make the world go round, John.
Bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle."
So we finally, Matrix is able to kind of negotiate this down to a knife fight, which is very impressive,
dumb, okay.
right? So he's like, "Come on, throw down the gun and let Jenny go." He gave in quicker than I give in, like halfway through Dry January, when one of my friends like slightly gives me a disapproving look for not having a beer. I'm like, fine, I'll have one fucking beer. So then we get a kind of, a fight, a hand-to-hand fight that is pretty even, although, like you said, it not believable is even, because
but at least
Arnie
Matrix has the one arm.
Yeah.
So there's that part of it, and he's trying to fight with the knife and doesn't have the other arm to really like help him.
Right.
So because there's a point where I kind of forgot for a moment his arm was busted, and so he like blocks a knife attack, but then Bennett's able to like grab him with a free hand. And I'm thinking to myself, where the hell is Matrix's free hand?
Right.
Oh, right. He can't use it. So it is, in that sense, it is a more level playing field. Because like I'm making fun of Bennett, but it's not like he's not burly at all. Like he's still like a dude who looks like he can beat some ass. Like, don't get me wrong.
He would kill both of us. So Vernon Wells, we apologize. You're the toughest guy that's ever lived.
Even Vernon Wells now. Yeah. I'm sure he's like 85 or something. Like I'm still not fighting that guy. No, but so yeah, so the fight happens. And you know what? I'll be honest, like pretty good hand-to-hand fight. I like the choreography of it. I liked the
improvised weaponry.
Yeah, like I thought this was like pretty interesting. Didn't love how it ended personally.
Well, before we get
there,
yeah, because there are a couple cool things
Yes.
like ripping a pipe off the wall and then beating.
That was cool.
Matrix is getting beaten with
Yes.
it, and then this has always cracked me up. Is he throws Bennett into like this wall of like loose electrical shit, and he gets electrocuted for a few seconds. It's like and then he bounces back like that just charged him up. Like I became more powerful. Oh, you didn't know? I'm powered by that.
I'm Electro Spider-Man. Like,
and Arnie had a sequence, so we're kind of back and forth, hit, and then it was like a whole bunch of punches all in sequence right before you finally threw him against the wall.
Man. Yeah.
And how does Bennett? How does he go out?
If I remember correctly, Matrix pulls a pipe off the wall or off of some piece with a pipe.
Yeah.
Throws it like a javelin or spear at Bennett. It somehow goes straight through the man's chest.
Yep.
And into whatever pipe or whatever he's like is behind him, because then all the steam from that comes out the pipe.
Yes.
Okay.
But look, it's a little unbelievable, but look, they landed the perfect line here, because when that happens, we get Arnie saying, "Let off some steam, Bennett."
It's a good line.
Oh my God.
It's a good line. And I love that the only reason it was a pipe and the only reason that it went into another pipe was so that the steam could come out. Because that line was written before the writer figured out, how am I going to fit this in? I really want him to say it. What can I do
to
make
really
this work? You pigeonholed it in there.
It's like you can tell, you can tell when something is written around a certain thing, and I really love whoever really believed in that line, like they believed in the let off some steam.
That's true.
Of course, at the end, Matrix is walking out. He's carrying Jenny. He's
with his one good arm.
Yeah, he's taking everyone out. The army arrives, and General Kirby goes up and he goes, "Leave anything for us?" And we get a just bodies.
Just bodies.
And then Cindy gets out of the seaplane and it's like, "Oh, here's your new mom." And then they let him fly away again. No questioning, no debrief. Witnesses after the fact, none of that stuff.
Yeah, it is interesting. Yeah, so that's Commando. That is the whole of Commando.
And we do get kind of like a whip-ass 80s song at the end of this movie.
Yeah, I actually dug that song.
Like there's not really any throughout, but then we get We Fight for Love by Power Station, which actually is a pretty good song.
I mean, for the time and for the style, I actually enjoyed it. I thought that was, all right, that's not bad. I can dig it.
Yeah, cool. So that is Commando, man.
Commando. All right, well, this was your pick, Nick. I think you should give us your breakdown first.
Dude, this movie, it just makes me so happy. Like I said, if you know me and you know the things that I like, you know that this is chock full of them. And this is my favorite Schwarzenegger movie. I don't think it's the best film of the Schwarzenegger movies, but this has the most of the shit that I like and the least of the shit that I don't like. And it's a crisp 90 minutes.
It is, yeah.
Mark L. Lester, I do like some of his other movies. I love Showdown in Little Tokyo. I've liked some other stuff that he's done. This is a 5 for me. If you love Arnie for the reasons I love Arnie, and you love that kind of like auxiliary cheesy shit, the sub boss characters and the lines and everything, this one makes me very happy. And I don't think we'll agree on this, but for me, from my perspective, this is a 5.
That's great. I love that. Look, here's the thing. It's not a 5 for me, but I still really enjoyed this movie. It was the first time I've ever seen it. So no nostalgia for it. Nothing that harkens back to like, drunken nights in like high school or college watching it. Nothing like that. But, like you said, it is chock full of cheesy one-liners, which are great. I love those. I really wish the villain was more intimidating, but that's okay. The action's fantastic. The body counts were crazy high. The weaponry is fun to watch. Like all those things. A lot of the things that we just talked a couple weeks ago about being what makes Predator so good.
Right.
Because those two movies really do line up, right? Like we watched Predator, we watched Total Recall, True Lies, now this for JanuArnie. And I feel like of those movies, the two that are most closely tied to each other are Predator and Commando. They're very similar styles. And I have all the nostalgia in the world for Predator. I first saw that when I was like 12, and then I don't have any for this, but it was still a ton of fun. So I am a 3 out of 5 on Commando. I really enjoyed it, but it's like too many things where I was like, okay, that was too unrealistic. Or again, Bennett, like really a full point came off this movie because Bennett was just not intimidating to me. But it's still a 3 out of 5. I think it was fun.
Yeah.
And it definitely, I think anybody, if you haven't seen, this is what I would say. If you saw this movie when you were younger and you haven't in a while, go dig it up, because I am sure that if I had even an ounce of nostalgia for it, I would have enjoyed it even more. But that makes us an 8 out of 10 on Commando, which feels pretty solid, definitely above, the other sort of ratings and stuff. So that wraps up JanuArnie for us. This is the final
what a month
Wednesday in January. Yeah, fantastic way to kick off 2026. And I don't know if you realize this, Nick, but do you know what next week is?
Next week.
February 4th will be the next Wednesday.
That sounds like an anniversary of sorts.
It is the 1-year anniversary of the start of this very podcast. On February 4th, 2025, we released our episode on Groundhog Day. And on February 4th, 2026, we are going to start a new, it's not a theme, but it's like a new sequence.
Yes.
And I think it's something we're going to kick off and really enjoy doing to start off our second full year of working on the podcast. So it's not a theme month. We're not calling it that. We're not tying movies together by any kind of like actor or style or anything, but we are going to walk through what we're calling 2 Dads, 2 Decades. We're going to start with 1980, and we're going to watch a movie from 1980, and the week after that, 81, and then 82, so forth, all the way up to 1999 I think it'll be sometime in June. We'll get to that. It's going to take us a while to do it.
Yeah.
But that's fantastic. This gives us a little structure, I think, for our choices. We'll still go back and forth like we always have. And I'm going to be the one that kicks it off and starts off with 1980. And when I looked at the movies of 1980, I had a lot of choices that I felt like I could make.
Yeah, rich year.
There's so many good movies from that year. One I didn't choose for me, but a particular favorite I hope we watch together at some point is like Caddyshack would have been one of my potential choices. But I've decided to kind of go back to a group of filmmakers we've actually already seen once.
Okay.
So the Kentucky Fried Theater boys gave us Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. And before they did that, they gave us Airplane from 1980.
Oh, baby.
Abraham Zucker's Airplane. This is fantastic. This is the first comedic role for several very dramatic, serious actors, which is so much fun, and we'll get into all that next week. But there's something else we're doing next week too, Nick, that I think I should mention.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going on a field trip.
I can't wait. I love field trips.
We're going on a field trip to the Cinema 9 podcast, where our buddies Mike and Eric and Travis have invited us to come on and chat about a movie that we haven't done on this show yet, and they haven't done on their show, and their show's been around for like 5 years.
Wow.
We're gonna watch Executive Decision, starring Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal, with the Cinema 9 boys next week. I think it'll come out before our episode on Airplane does, so if you're listening, keep an eye out for Cinema 9. Nick and I will be on that next week, and you don't want to miss that.
Yeah, and that's a great podcast. I've listened to a bunch of Cinema 9. I think they do a really good job, and they're slightly different than us. So even an episode on the same film, I think you get a lot listening to both. But yeah, I can't wait to chat with those guys and chat some Executive Decision.
It'll be my second time on their podcast. I actually was they're on like episode 260 some odd, but I was on episode 57 back in 2021, and we talked about Get Shorty at that time. So that was a lot of fun. So yeah, so keep an eye out for that. Watch for us on Cinema 9 podcast, but here on 2 Dads, 1 Movie, we will be talking about Airplane next week, and I'm super excited about that. So that's a wrap. If you like what you hear, and we hope you do, please consider heading over to Apple or Spotify and leaving us a 5-star review. It really helps new folks find the show. Be sure to check out our website at 2dads1movie.com. That's the number 2 and the number 1. There you can explore the movies we've covered, sign up for our newsletter, The Rewind, and even get sneak previews of upcoming episodes. We'd also love it if you followed us on Instagram at 2dads1movie. Once again, this has been Commando, another episode of 2 Dads, 1 Movie. I'm Steve.
And I'm Nick.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, everyone.